Hey everyone, Alan Bauer here, Bay City, Michigan. And tonight I want to continue on with Randy Gage's new book, DEFCON 1, which I pre-ordered. That'll be out May 5th. That'll be shipping. So I can't wait to get my hands on that. So I covered the introduction. Then yesterday I covered wartime leadership, which is his, actually his whole thing's about wartime leadership, where he's talking about how the pandemic affects direct sales. So I covered the executive summary the first time, then I covered the wartime leadership, and today, which is section 2, it's the impact on direct selling, what Randy believes will be the impact. So a little shorter today, but let's go ahead and start this. So important caveat, while the broad pattern I'm discussing is universal, the timeline in your area or company will slide depending on how strong your area is infected, how effectively your government responds, and whether you're in the upper or lower hemisphere. So short-term impact, approximately the next 120 days. More lockdowns, shelter-at-home advisories, and travel restrictions. Continuing restrictions on large public meetings. Companies with weak e-commerce functionality will be exposed. Expect more chaos in supply chain, warehouse, or backorder issues. I believe 35 to 100 companies will close or be acquired within the next 120 days. Massive wipeout in the distributor ranks short term. Huge loss in price-sensitive customers for certain segments. So that's the short term. Now the midterm, he said, could be 6 months, could be 12. Going to last longer than we wish. Consolidation of companies. Expect ferocious poaching. Best case, the rebound starts here. And then finally, he has his long term. He said could be 12 months, could be 24 months. Big shakeouts, lots of mergers and acquisitions, huge bounce in recruiting. Proven field leaders will be in high demand. Surviving companies will have an all-you-can-eat buffet of strong leaders to choose from. Worst case, the rebound starts here. So, not the greatest news short term. Midterm gets a little better. And what I really love is the long-term part, where we get that bounce back. But I want to just touch on this. So, I'm expecting more lockdowns. Like here in Michigan, Governor Whitmer just made things more restrictive. You can't even buy garden supplies or, you can't go golfing. You can't, there's a lot of stuff. They're getting stricter and stricter. It's almost like there's this competition to see who can have the most strict rules in place to lock people down. And it's really hurting not just direct sales business, but a lot of regular traditional businesses too. So she talks about companies with weak e-commerce functionality will be exposed. Now, luckily, CTFO, we've already gone through this bear here with the weak e-commerce. We had an old system, and then we switched to another one, and it wasn't a very smooth transition getting over. But finally, we switched to this new one, and it is like top notch, man. So I'm just glad that we went through all of our problems way before this pandemic hit. Because if this hit at the same time we had those issues, I don't know. I don't know if we would have made it. That would have been a pretty hard one to do. But the good thing is we had already planned that, went through all that bad transition, and we are like strong, man. We have a strong e-commerce. So I'm very happy with that. Now he does talk about expecting more chaos in the supply chain, warehouse, and backorder issues. This is something that could affect us. When the owners spoke the other night, they were talking about they were doubling up, supplies and everything. They were also searching out other ingredients and supplies worldwide to make sure we had that continuous chain on the supply chain there. But you never know. There could be shortages on some products. So don't be surprised. Just like going to the store for toilet paper. Look at that. Nobody can solve that. I swear, man, if there was a toilet paper network marketing company right now, like say Amway threw that out there, they had an endless supply of toilet paper, I would jump in that as a secondary, and I'd be a crown diamond like that, man. I mean, you would like roll in the profits off that thing. So, like I said, there's a lot of weird stuff going on with the supply chain, with all these businesses going out, getting forced out because of government decrees. This could happen. We could run into supply issues. So I do recommend stocking up on some products that you like. You don't have to go like all nuts about it, but maybe don't wait till the last minute and think you're going to order something. I always keep a little extra in stock for myself personally. I try to keep more than that in case, somebody in my local area runs out too, so I can deliver to them. We get that demand met. But if you wait till the last minute in today's crazy world, I don't recommend that. Hopefully, everything still flows smoothly, but just be prepared. That's all I'm saying is be prepared. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Now, this is really interesting here, where he says he believes 35 to 100 companies will close or be acquired in the next 120 days. And when you think about it, I'm thinking these are going to be companies that have debt, or they have a lot of high overhead expenses, and they're operating on thin margins. That's going to be pretty interesting to see who goes under, or, they get acquired by another company. They get bought out by maybe a company that's cash rich. They got a bunch of cash to pick up some of these companies. Massive wipeout distributor rank, short term. A lot of people, they're just not built for wartime. Even peacetime, if they're not, everything's not going smooth for them, they get the least little thing, they're out of there. So expect it. This is how it flushes people out. And it's just part of the game, part of the business. But the people that do stick with you here are going to be your real leaders that you want to hang on to and take care of. So, huge loss to price-sensitive customers for certain segments. I don't think we're going to have that problem because everything we sell is wholesale and it's way below all the competitors. We're very competitive. We have very high-quality products and our prices seem to be right at or lower than the competitors. I don't think we're going to have an issue on that with CTFO. Now he talks about midterm. Again, he talks about consolidation of companies. Expect ferocious poaching. You're going to have this. You're going to have these people out there that are, say you have a little supply channel thing or something like this. They're going to start rumors. They're going to say, hey, did you hear this? I'm not sure your company's going to make it, man. Now, if you're with a company you love, hang on to it. If you think they can make it through, do that. But if you think they're going to go under or something like that, you may want to start looking around at a strong company, to go to. Time's going to tell. Some of these companies, a lot of people think their own company is very safe. We're going to find out. I think ours is pretty safe. So we shall see here. And then what he talks about is the best case, the rebound starts there. So that could be 6 to 12 months. The long term, where he talked about that big shakeouts, lots of mergers, acquisition, this is going to be the final finale. This is where you're going to see some of these big giants are going to go under. They're going to get merged into other companies. These companies are going to do whatever it takes to survive. If they can't survive, they're either going to go under or somebody's going to buy them out. They're going to take that buyout. But those distributors are going to be kind of kicked to the curb. So there are going to be a lot of real proven field leaders out there. So these are people that, were great leaders. They just it had nothing to do with the leaders at all. They were great. They kept their team together, but the ship that they were sailing on sunk. And, they kept all their leaders there. Now they're looking for the lifeboats and to get on another boat and look for the next company that's going to be strong. And I'm not looking to poach people or anything, but when these companies go over and you see some of these good leaders, they're out there looking for strong leaders. So the thing is, if you're bouncing from one company to another, like I've seen some people do. I watched a bunch of people leave CTFO and, we're going on, this is the next best thing since sliced bread. And then like a month later, they're no longer in that company and they're in another company. And you're thinking, is that the type of person I want to follow? Somebody that just bashed the company that you got out of and how great this other company was. And then, like a month or two later, like a couple seconds, you're in that other company and boom, you're on to the next one. people look at that and they say, you know what, maybe it's not those companies that are the problem. Maybe you're the common denominator that's the issue, and you need to take a look in the mirror and kind of fix yourself. But there are going to be some of these leaders out there, like I said, great people out there. They did one hell of a job for their team, but unfortunately, some of these companies are going to go under. And hopefully it's not you, but if you are, you're going to want to start looking for some serious leaders that are out there that are going to take you through that. And this is where it's really going to be the big rebound, because this is where you're going to have a ton of good leaders out there through absolutely zero fault of their own. It was more due to government shutdowns and things like that drove good companies under. A lot of these companies are great companies out there. Had this pandemic, can't even speak tonight, pandemic not happened, and the government didn't impose all these rules, a lot of them would still be there. But they're running on debt, things like that. I mean, things can catch up quick. So just wanted to put that out there tonight, not to be alarmist or scare anybody, because we are going to make this through. But there's going to be some heavy turmoil going on, especially with some of these companies. You're going to see some major name companies coming up, according to Randy's predictions, that are going to go out of business or get acquired or bought up by another company. Mergers, things like that. So it's going to be very interesting times. I'm loving it because, these are also going to be the best of times. It's not going to be the best going through here. We got to survive to go through. But when we come out the other side, it's really going to take off like a frickin' rocket ship, man. We're just really going to crush it at that point. So that's all I have for tonight. Just wanted to share that. Thinking about doing a Facebook Live. Maybe I'm going to do one tomorrow. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. What's a good time to have one, like on a Saturday or something? Maybe I'll figure it out. I'm hoping we have the strong enough, internet, and it's not, buffering and all that stuff. So I'm still thinking about that. I do want to get through these things with Randy here. I think I got about 3 more to do. I think we go up to section 5 on here, and then that's it. So that's all I have for tonight. Drop me some comments. Let me know what's going on. What are your thoughts? What do you think about this stuff? That's all I got. Thanks, and talk to you tomorrow.